Hey there, thanks for tuning in. You're watching Dirt Bike Channel. I'm your host Kyle Brotherson, and today we're going to give you the true wet weight of this 2019 KTM 250 XC. Stick around. Those of you that have watched the channel for a while, you'll know that I like to weigh my bikes because I like to know what they weigh. Weight on the scale isn't always weight that you feel on the trail, but it's nice to have a reference point of how much these bikes weigh and what bikes weigh more and what bikes weigh less. And then also see the evolution of how these dirt bike manufacturers are doing. Are the bikes getting heavier? Are they getting lighter? And where are they taking some of that weight? Now, I don't always know where they're taking the weight, but I do like to find out if they weigh more or less than previous year's model and how they compare to other bikes. So, another thing, also if you've been paying attention, I always weigh my bikes full of fuel. Why do I do? Some people say, well, why do you weigh the bikes full of fuel, Kyle? Because not every bike has the same size fuel tank. That's true, they don't, but I want to see what they weigh when I'm going to go out on a trail ride. I don't ever remember going on a trail ride when I didn't fill my tank full of fuel, because a lot of these rides we go on are long and you never know how much fuel you're gonna need. So I fill them full of fuel. So I want to know how much they weigh. This bike is full of oil, it's full of coolant, it's full of fuel, and we're gonna see how much it weighs. Now I like to weigh these bikes before I start putting aftermarket parts on them, and I was just about to put a rear disc guard on the bike and I'm like, wait, I haven't weighed the bike. And then I got thinking, look, I've got a skid plate on here already, so don't worry. I'm gonna put the bike down off the stand. I'm gonna pull the skid plate off because I want to see exactly how much it weighs without any aftermarket parts on it. So I'll pull the skid plate off, we'll weigh the bike, and then put the skid plate back on, and then put a rear disc guard on this bike. And then after that, the bike's pretty much gonna be ready to ride. I'm gonna put tubeless on it eventually. Well, not eventually, I'm gonna put a tubeless on it later this week probably. So yeah, let's drop the bike down and see how much it weighs after I take the skid plate off. Okay, so I had the results. For a second, I was freaking out because I thought this bike was actually like 6.5 pounds lighter than the previous year's model, and that was the previous model year, and that was because my linkage was not all the way, the linkage was on here on the stand and not on the scale, so it kind of freaked me out, but then I got looking at it. So here it is. The bike weighs 236.5 pounds. I don't know how well you can see that there. Hopefully you can see that. If not, I'll roll in the footage, which equals 107.2 kilograms for all of you guys in a little place known as everywhere that isn't the United States. There's 107.2 kilograms on this bike, 236. If I bounce this thing around, yeah, it falls in. 236.5 is what I've been getting it to. It's reading 236 right now. I'm gonna call it 236.5 because that's what I've been getting. Anyway, the bike is fun. It's fun because this bike didn't change as far as the weight. It didn't change any from last year. The last time I measured it, my 2018 was 236.5. So the same thing. Like right now, it's coming in at 236.0. So nothing is touching. And what I've been trying to do is just move the bike around on the scale and just make sure it's a repeatable measurement. Yeah, 236 is what it's saying. So I mean, it's either 236 or 236.5. Either way, you can see in 2017, this bike weighed 235.5. 2016, it was 236.5. And then right now, I'm getting 236. I'm getting, as you can see, 236. So maybe we'll call that as 236. Now that it's had time to stabilize here. Anyway, that's how much they weigh. So these bikes are very light when, in comparison to a lot of other bikes. Most of the time, manufacturers list these things with dry weights. So they don't put oil in them, they don't put fuel in them. A lot of times they don't put coolant in them, and that's how they'll weigh them. Every manufacturer is a little bit different. I like to weigh my bikes the same, wet, every time. So that's pretty much it, guys. I will be putting my skid plate back on. I'm going to put a rear disc guard on this. I'm going to put tubeless on it. And then the bike is essentially going to be ready to ride. If you like these videos, please like, share, and subscribe with your friends. Also, if you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com. I have a Patreon page there. I also have links to parts. So if you want to go to dirtbikechannel.com/parts, you can order parts through Rocky Mountain ATV and Motorsports, and you can also do Amazon. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it does help me to support my family. So go over to dirtbikechannel.com/parts, or look in the description of this video, and I will have some links down there that you can use. So stay tuned for more videos and let me know what other types of things you'd like me to do on the channel, and we will catch you later. Thanks, guys.